So I have a kitty here because it is time to eat and I'm late. But I do want to go into the second part of this, which is the question we ended on. And here's the question. For believe me, my expectation is that 99% of are guilty of falling into performing the replaceable black trope. 99.9%. There are a lot of reasons for it. I mentioned being a grown up at the end of the last video, and I was not being snide. It is one of the things that you kind of have to do if you are in community with people that you don't intend to intend to dispose of at some point, is you have to learn and you want to enjoy them. You know, we're very honest with each other. Like, one of my favorite things, and it's messy, but I love about us is like, you will be in a you'll be hanging with your friends and somebody will walk by and they'll be like, ugh, I can't stand her. And it's always with the ugh. And I love that. I love that for us. I love that about us because you know what? Her being at the party, that feeling does not preclude you being at the party with that person. It just means that you guys figured out that you're not going to be friends. And you're not wasting any energy trying to make that happen. I've often said that women would rather burn each other's houses down than admit they don't like each other. And I have yet to have someone disagree with me. I'm not saying that there are not individuals who, because of their own marginalized areas or because they were raised by someone who was forced or for whatever reason was able to look at ness from the edges as opposed to from in the middle of it, and they have discovered some things, you know. But last week, the question I left y'all with was, think about those situations where you had that black friend, that black coworker, that where the situation got hinky and kind of not great, or the black so your black colleague, your black boss, your black employee, your black the person that whose nail place that you went to, whatever position they held in your life, your kid's babysitter, or you being their babysitter, the daycare that they had or the daycare that you had, when things ended awkwardly. And then you have all this like feelings, all this sort of negative energy around the situation, around the person, really. And you've assumed that you've walked away from that situation and haven't really considered the fact that you've hurt someone. It is very easy, and it's something that I think women do to men a lot, where we don't really think they have feelings, not real ones, and so we'll treat them as if they don't. Because very often there are a lot of men who will not express when they've been hurt by a woman. When a woman hurts them, they won't necessarily express that to her, like, you hurt my feelings. they put on a front of, they put on a big, strong, brave face. And so it's easy, although we know, and let's not get it twisted. It's not that we don't know that we were harmful. It's not that we don't know even that we hurt that person. It's that the person, because they are willing to act tough, has given us permission to pretend like we didn't. And that is what that is. So the trick is to examine our behavior for whether or not it was harmful. And so the question I asked everybody, did you clean up? Regardless, let's say that person was a horrible person, or they did all the wrong things, or they were really, really difficult to get along with, or whatever. Did you fully clean up your side of the street in the relationship? Is there anything that they can say about you that you did that you didn't clear up with them? And this is very difficult because we have very specific ideas in this nation about who we will apologize to. And Black people are like near the bottom of the list, if not at the actual bottom. No, at the actual bottom of the list. We have yet to, this country has yet to apologize for slavery. That's how much we don't think Black people deserve an apology. And I'm not talking about, motions in the House or whatever. I'm talking about someone getting up behind the presidential seal and declaring a Day of Atonement. Because don't we deserve at least that? So yeah, we have specific ideas about, there's some resistance. If you look into asking yourself that question and find like you have like this resistance to even the idea of looking into your behavior, and then if you feel like you have resistance and once you've looked into your behavior and the idea of like going back and cleaning that mess up, that's what a lot of it's going to be about, I am sorry to say. The idea that you should never have to apologize to a Black person is not an alien concept in the socialization of most Americans. So the trick is to learn to see that process as a positive. Quick story. I had a terrible temper. I had my father's temper, and unfortunate, and it wasn't the temper that was a problem. It was more like what I would do when I would lose it, which is I was raised by two incredibly perceptive people. My mother could always see, the reasons why a situation is developing with someone or did develop, what to the good or to the bad, and she could always see the underlying, goodness, etc., etc. And my father was the kind of person, I'm talking about them like they're no longer here, but they are. My father is the kind of person who knows your worst traits before you are ready to admit them to yourself. And when he got mad, he taught me, he's the one who taught me how to fight. So when he got mad, he would say that, the thing that you're not even ready to tell yourself. I used to do that. And when I realized that it was going to leave me alone and isolated, I decided to stop. And the only thing that helped me, what really teaches people how to treat people better? Accountability. When you know that you're going to have to apologize, you learn how to treat people better. And you learn to be more self-aware.